Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dorian Show. Today I have my guest right here. You could see her. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a writer extraordinaire. She's very smart, very funny. I would say something about her looks, but I don't want to get canceled. Please give a round of applause to Grace Harryman.
Yeah, give it up. Thank you for that. What a lovely introduction.
Yeah, what a beautiful day here in an undisclosed location. We're not going to tell them where we're at.
It's a little bit windy.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's
Your hair
fine.
looks great in the wind.
It's bothering me a little, so.
Allegedly looks great.
Allegedly?
Yeah, I don't want to, either confirm or deny how you look right now because I might get canceled,
Yeah. There's nothing like telling a woman she's beautiful to get canceled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I just try to not to, think about how a woman looks at all. And almost as, I don't even see beauty.
No.
How some people are colorblind? I'm beauty blind.
Yeah, you're beauty blind.
Yeah, I can't. I don't see ugly or beautiful.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody kind of looks the same, kind of like just a gray
I think that has a name.
Me.
It's called it's a faceism thing where everyone has the same face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a teacher in high school who had it.
Yeah. The teacher's just high all the time. I had a cup of water there. What happened to it?
Where?
On the table.
Well, there's problems with Ishi.
Well, Grace, I wanted to ask you. Let's just jump right into it. So Grace has done a lot of writing and producing. She's done 2 one-woman shows. She's written, produced a play. So can we start there? Can you tell us how it's like to write or produce and put together a play and see it come into fruition? The word is fruition, not fruitation.
Yeah, come to fruition. Did someone say fruitation?
Yeah, me, a couple months ago.
Yeah. So basically what happened is I had this idea. So I had done the one-woman show. This is at Fringe Festival in Los Angeles the year before. And
Fringe Festival
in Los Angeles, Hollywood Fringe Festival. Yeah, and the reason I did that is because I knew a girl in my Groundlings program who had done the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and had a lot of success. And so I was like, maybe that's a way to have success.
So that's the one-woman show.
Yeah, so I did the one-woman show, and I ended up winning an award for it. So I was like, well, what can I do?
You can't just skip over that. What award did you win?
Oh, I won the Encore Producers Award.
What does that mean?
So basically, they let me run my show for as long as I wanted after that without paying for the space. They paid for the space. Okay. And then I still got money from the ticket sales.
That's not the play. That's just the one-woman show.
That's the one-woman show. So then
What exactly... I'm sorry, I know I asked you about the play, but
yeah.
What exactly is a one-woman show? Can you describe that to me? I know a lot of people have done it. Not a lot, but a few people I've talked to have done it, but I'm I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so my one-woman show was basically just me up there doing characters.
Yeah.
And telling stories from my own life. It was mixed. It was a short stories, and then I was, like I said, in the Groundlings. So I had some of my Groundlings characters in there intermixed with my short stories. Okay. And it all was tied together by the fact that I had read this article it was a paper. We were talking earlier about how we read medical papers, and I read this medical paper on this therapist in the 1800s who was famous in, I think it was Germany. Yeah, or maybe it was Prussia or something. Something like that. And this therapist would put these people under hypnosis and access a different part of their personality to cure them of whatever ailment they had. Mm-hmm. So there was one girl who was blind, but she was this stop.
Is this going where I think it's going?
No.
Okay.
So she was a famous pianist, and she played for the Empress. And
which Empress?
Her parents, I don't remember. See, this is it was so, I was 23 when I wrote this and did all this. But anyway, so this is interesting. So her parents took her to this, they'd heard about this famous doctor. They took her to the doctor. The doctor put her under hypnosis, and suddenly, after she had been under hypnosis, she could now see.
That's exactly where I thought it was going.
But then she couldn't play the piano.
That's a good trade.
So wait, listen, they had access another part of her personality that could see but could not. So I was thinking about all the personalities that we have inside of us.
Yeah.
And
she had a blind personality before.
Shut up. So I was thinking about all the characters that I have inside of me that I would do when I would perform, and that's sort of what tied it all together.
I see. How long is a one-woman show?
Mine was it was about 50 minutes, and then I had a violinist up there.
Do you not get thirsty talking that much for an hour?
I don't remember, actually. That probably was like the last thing on my mind. I remember my first show being like literally scared shitless, like shaking backstage, because it's just me out there, and it was a really personal show. Anyway, back to the play. So after I won the award, I was like, well, what can I do next? That's like terrifying. And I was like, oh, I should write a play and produce it and put it up and direct it. And so I was supposed to write one play.
Oh shit. So keep going.
So I was supposed to write one play, and I was dead set on writing this one play, and then I was having a lot of trouble writing it. And then I had like I had a day off work, and I remember I was like, oh, I can't write this play. And I had like kind of like some weird nuisances happen. I remember that. And then I went out to Venice. I drove out to Venice, and I was like on my way back from Venice, and I was like, I gotta like figure this thing out. And I was like throwing out the recycling into the recycling bin. I recycle.
As people do, throwing the recycling in the recycling bin.
Yeah, and then the play came to me, and I ran upstairs and I wrote an entirely different play.
How long did you take to write that play?
I stayed up all night writing it.
It took you 1 day to write the whole thing.
Well, that was about 3:00, and then I stayed up until probably like 3 a.m. the next morning. Like it took me 12 hours to write the first draft.
And it was complete.
And then I did draft after draft.
Okay.
But I never left my like bedroom after. And I remember I went to the doctor after that for something, and I was like, yeah, I feel really good because I just wrote this play, and I like stayed up all night writing it. And they're like, are you manic?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. They're like, does this happen often to you? And I was like, no, that's never happened to me in my life.
That's incredible that you wrote it. How long was the play, like the show?
It was 3 acts. It was an hour.
It's an hour. That's a lot of writing. What was the name of the play?
Love in the Time of the Gods.
Can you tell us a little bit about what it's about?
Yeah, so it kind of came to me because I was thinking about how I feel like I'm going to sound so arrogant when I say this, but like I like to play with what I feel like is like our destiny versus like what choices we have like in a life. And I kind of sometimes I don't feel like I have any choice in a lot of the things that have happened in my life, that it's just fate or destiny.
Sure.
So this is a love story, a romance, and it's these two people who are sort of like destined to be together, but there's the gods up above, the Greek gods, and they're sort of like dealing with them like puppets and deciding their fate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Happy ending or no?
I can't tell you that. You have to see it.
All Greek mythologies end in tragedy, right?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's only a Greek tragedy.
Oh. So how did you go about did you get an editor or anything, or you just like
No,
you just went through and
my mom's a writer, so I sent it to my mom.
Shout out Maggie.
Shout out to Maggie Harryman.
Maggie, what's up?
But actually, wait, you saying that made me think. So we both went to UC Santa Cruz together, right? Am I right? Banana slugs.
That's why you're on this
pod.
How we do. That's how I get. I just wear a bunch of different like college.
I know. What is this
shirts.
one? American Samoa?
I actually didn't go to Santa Cruz. I was just wearing it so I could get you on the pod, and it worked. Just kidding.
Wait. Anyway, I wanted to ask you: did you ever take a theater class at Santa Cruz?
I did.
Oh, really? Which one? And who was your teacher?
I don't remember who the teacher was. Intro to acting.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
I love that. Patty Gallagher.
I don't remember, but it was in the
Porter area, like
there was like
theater,
the theater,
yes.
and then there was like and you like you're a lot of times you go into like your lab or whatever that is called. You know how some classes have lab?
Yes.
So we did a lot of work with like the TA and the lab. I don't remember much of it. I think we had to do like a bunch of stuff, but you only really need to perform one time. So I think I might have performed in an improv thing.
Oh, yeah. Did you like improv? I feel like you'd like improv.
I don't remember anything about it.
Oh, okay.
I remember there was a monologue, and I actually might have performed a monologue, but I don't remember.
Oh, was it a comedic monologue?
I don't remember anything at all.
Did you ever think about like setting
except
theater?
For a young woman?
What? There's a girl in your class who you had a crush on?
There's only one girl in that class, which really? Is crazy.
That's crazy because the theater program is like primarily women.
Yeah, it's like 500 people. There's only one girl.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
No, I was going to say acting 101's like 10 people.
No, there's a lot of people. It was a bigger...
Oh, really?
I don't know if it was intro to acting or something. I had to take it for an art.
Yeah.
GE.
And you didn't want to study acting?
No.
No.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I don't know. I just...
You were not into comedy then, or what's...
No, I got into comedy like 20 years later after I graduated from college.
20 years after you graduated from college, you got into comedy?
Yeah.
So you go back to your... How old are you? 500?
Yeah, exactly. I'm 34. No, I didn't... Yeah, I wasn't into it. I just took it for a class. It was kind of fun. I mean, it almost felt like... I don't know if it was intro acting. It was like a big class. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of people weren't into it. Like they were just kind of there for like a GE. Mm. But how did you? So your mom helped you with editing. How did you get like a? How did you do casting? Did you do like an open casting, or you just called out your homies?
Oh, so I was very lucky that I was in the improv community and comedy community in LA, and there's just like, I mean, like I tell people, you throw a rock in that town and you hit someone like really talented.
Yeah.
So I did know a bunch of people that I already wanted to cast for some of the parts, but then I held like I did casting out of AFI, or yeah, it was AFI.
No idea what that is. What's AFI?
American Film Institute.
Okay.
We one of the main character, Caitlin Curl, she worked at the time. I think I can say that she worked at the time at AFI, and so we got to use the rooms.
Oh shit!
And then we had a big casting call, and like a bunch of people showed up, which that's so crazy. Like if I'm I mean, that taught me a lot about being an actor and then like the casting world, because we sat there for hours and like all we wanted was to find the right person for the part. And it's like, I know people get so nervous, but there's really no need, because like we were literally there like just to find the right person. Like there's no need to be nervous.
Did you know?
I knew.
Were you in it yourself or no?
So I ended up being in it because someone dropped out.
Was it
last minute?
You were the main character?
No, I was like a very small part. I wanted to direct it.
So that like the main characters.
Yes. Kaylee Carl was my
Nula. Did you know the moment she stepped in and you're like,
oh, her I had already cast.
Oh, I mean for the.
So the guy though, the main character guy.
Did you know the moment he walked in?
Wait, I wonder. So wait,
he had to woo.
No one's gonna see this, right? Okay, so no one will listen. So
someone will listen. Right?
This happens though all the time. So actually, there was a guy who came in.
Yeah.
And he's actually like a bigger actor now, or like he's booked a lot of stuff. He came in the room.
Is he Thor?
No, but he's in. He books all the time. I don't know what he just booked, but he just booked something kind of big. And he walked in the room and he was so good. Like, oh my God. I was literally just like, wow, I have to have this guy in my show. And then
you promised them what, zero money?
No, there were some, whatever, it doesn't matter. So
you're gonna be a star, sir.
Then we talked after, because I was like, I'm dying to have you in the show, and he was like, I can't make like half the rehearsals though because I'm in another Fringe show.
Damn.
And I booked like something, I don't remember what it was, and I was like, so
the Fringe is the one-man show.
Fringe is one woman show as well as the play. They're both at Fringe Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then there was like a lot of trouble. So that was one thing I also learned about.
Wait, no.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So did you know?
So when he walked in, I thought he was going to be it, and then he had problems with the scheduling.
Oh, okay.
And so I couldn't cast him, and so then I ended up casting someone else who I've known for years.
Sorry
also
for grabbing your arm like that. I want to apologize to everyone out there that's watching this. I want to say, like, did you know before he said anything? Like, he walked in and you're like, that's...
Oh, no. It was the way he delivered the lines where I was like, oh my God, he's so good. And now I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand why he books so much. He's just like ridiculously talented.
Yeah. How was the guy you replaced him with?
He was great. It's just like this other guy's a professional actor, and like then the other guy was more like in finance, and he just wasn't. He wasn't at the same level. He was still great, and he was easy to work with, and he's super sweet. But that guy blew me away, and I was gonna say is
go ahead.
that I learned a lot because I had a couple people who were like, one guy in particular was on a television show, and he was like kind of, you know, working his way up. He had like a bigger name, I guess, and he was so difficult to work with.
Like a prima donna?
Such a prima donna. And one time...
I only wanted green M&Ms. Shit like that. Are there even green M&Ms? I don't even know.
He was just like the worst. Like he was always late to rehearsals and always like leaving an hour early, like crazy stuff. And I was like trying to work around it, Then anytime I gave him a note, he would talk back to me. And then I reached a point. It was the pinnacle. It was right before. And that's how I feel like I am. Like I reach a point and I'm like, no.
You fired him? You're like, I'll play his role myself, motherfucker.
I almost fired him. But instead what I did is he talked back to me for the last time and I was like, you can leave now.
Damn. That's like straight out of a television show.
He was like, what? I'm like, take your stuff and leave. And he like left. And then
did he changed after that?
Yeah, he did.
Fucking dude.
Because that's what you have to do. Like you have to set boundaries with those people.
Yeah, he was just
like I'm not gonna be. You can't keep. And I was a lot younger than him. I'm like, you know, I think 9 years younger than him or something.
Damn, dude. Dating age.
No, he had a girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Did he ever say this line? Do you know who I am?
No.
I've been on Days of Our Lives.
But I've definitely heard people say that in LA. Do you know who I am?
I say that shit all the time. Just because I know confused people. You know what I mean? I like to go to like a Baskin Robbins. I'll be like, can I get an extra scoop? Like, sorry, sir. It's a 3 scoop maximum. I'm like, do you know who I am?
Yeah, I think it's best to like pull out your ego like in a Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, I'm like, have you seen The Walking Dead? He's like, you're Glenn? I'm like, no, I'm not. I wasn't in Walking Dead. I just wanted to know if you've seen it. Great show.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many actors was in your play, would you say?
There were 11.
11, and then did you need like other people like
background? No, I just had the 11.
I think like 11. other like production.
Oh yeah, so not really. No, I did all my mom was on props.
Nice.
Mom's on props.
Nice.
And the way she was on props is, and because at one point I literally like broke down crying in front of my friend because I was like, I am in charge of everything and I can't handle this because I was also working 2 jobs at the time to pay for it. Yeah. And my mom sent me like a bunch of stuff in a box and I was like, I can't do this all on my own.
Right.
And also, I think I can say this because whatever, we're just loose-lipped today. I had a friend who was in the play and she was like going through a breakup and like she was like doing a bunch of like cocaine and she like climbed this fence and then like she was like trying to get into her house at like 3 a.m. after partying all night. Mm-hmm. And it was like after rehearsals, obviously. And
she was one of the characters.
She was like one of my main characters.
Oh,
she falls from the fence onto her face, chips her 2 front teeth.
Oh, shit.
So then she's like, calls me and she's like, Grace, I'm going to Mexico to fix my teeth. And I was like, what the fuck? Like it was like a week before the play was starting. And then I remember she like came back from Mexico and her teeth were fixed and she's like, yeah, I'm just like having a hard time. And I turned to her and I was like, get your shit together, because like I'm putting on this play and I'm working 2 bartending jobs and like I can't deal, like stop doing cocaine. I like yelled something like that at her.
How long did you have to have rehearsals before like the show was put on?
Like a month and a half.
That's not a lot of time. Will you guys meet like what?
No, we did 3-hour rehearsals every day.
Every day for a month and a half.
Yeah, that's like a traditional play.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people to manage. I can't even.
It was a lot.
I don't think I could even get one person to meet with me every day for 3 hours.
It was a lot of. It was tough. At first, maybe it was 2 months. In the first like couple of weeks, we just did 1 day a week.
Okay.
And then we went.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Did you guarantee them pay or anything like that in the beginning?
No, I didn't. But then like I think that's another thing that is true in LA is that people want stage time and like I sent a bunch of emails to like casting directors and agents to get them to come to the play.
Sure.
And then, yeah.
Did you record the plays?
I did record the play, yeah.
Are you going to put it... Is it on YouTube? Are you going to put it on YouTube?
No, it's not on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to write another one and put it up because...
Nice. Wait, before you go on.
Yeah.
So you have 11 people. You're putting the show on. Did you have to rent out the venue, or did they let you have it for free?
Yeah, I rented out. That's why I took on... So I was working at the time.
How much is it, like a...
It was expensive. It was, I want to say like $400 a night.
Okay.
And I think we did 5 shows or 6 shows.
Damn. So you like...
So that was my money too. And
$2,000.
Yeah.
$2,400 of 6 shows.
So, and that...
that's not cheap. That's like getting
and so that's also why I didn't pay the actors, because...
Yeah. That's like getting your car towed like 4 times. Not that I know anything about getting my car towed. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I was working in a private school as an improv teacher at the time.
Okay.
And I was making really good money doing that because I got paid per kid at this really wealthy, like ritzy private school.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the day I was supposed to start the new quarter and I was like in the middle of the play.
Yeah.
They like let go of the program.
Damn.
And I was like, oh my God. Like, I remember I showed up to campus and they're like, oh yeah, we're not offering it this quarter. And I was like, what the that's my livelihood. But
you should be like, can I improv as like a math teacher?
Yeah, I should have done something like that. But instead, I remember I called the woman who was like in charge of the complex theater.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you're watching this, donate to them because I think they're about to shut down because they don't have enough money because they got hit so hard by COVID.
That also means they could probably give you stage time for like $200 a night.
Oh my God, Dorian. Okay, let me finish this. So I call her and she's the nicest woman ever. And I was like, I think I'm going to have to like cancel my play.
Oh no.
Because I don't have the money.
This is before you even started.
Wait, and by the way, I'm already bartending on weekends. I was bartending Friday and Saturdays at a local bar. And she was like, Grace.
You want to shout it out or no?
Oh, Molly Malone's. It's an Irish bar. I love that bar.
In LA?
In LA, on Fairfax. Miracle Mile area. Anyway, so I took this job. She was like, you need to get another job. Just like get another job. And I was like, I don't know if I can, Monica. And so the next day, all day, I just like called bars to see if they'd hire me as a bartender. And like one place like picked up and they're like, yeah, we might be looking for bartenders. And I like showed up like later, like early evening or whatever of that same day.
Yeah.
And they hired me like on the spot.
Yeah, I like how you just went on your own. Because I'll be like, Mom, can I get $2,400?
No. I feel like I have a single mom and I'm always like so embarrassed to ask my mom for anything.
But she would have given it to you, right?
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
To live your dream? That's good.
No. Which I think it's better to be like parented in like a sinker float situation.
So is like $400 to rent per night? Is that like average, or you think that's cheaper or more expensive?
I mean, it was a bigger. So I had, because it was a play. My one woman show was a much smaller venue.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I sold out every night.
How many shows?
There were like when I did so it was like 4 or 5 for the first time I did it, and then when I did the encore shows. I think I did 3 more. And
what's an encore show? Like you just add on shows?
That's when I won the award and they basically like paid me to do more shows.
How many people did this seat?
That was a smaller venue. I don't really remember, but maybe it was like 35.
That's a full crowd for me. I'm a stand-up comedian. I see 15 people. I'm like, hot damn.
Well, my play was more like, I think it was 65.
Okay.
So that was more expensive.
How did it sell? Did it do okay?
It sold really well, yeah. It did very well.
How did you get the word out, or does the theater do a lot of promoting for you?
I don't know. I think I just like pushed that. My actors also pushed it. And then, like I said, sending like emails to casting directors, agents, then family and friends.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, like a lot of people are at Fringe. So I would go to like the Fringe events and then like talk up my play and be like, yeah, I'm a like writer director of this play that I'm putting on, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You really hustled out there.
I hustled.
How much were tickets? Did you charge?
I think they were like $15.
Boom. And you said the actors didn't get paid?
No.
Yeah. That's cool. Did you make money? Like, did you make money after covering costs?
I did, yeah.
Damn. That's a success to me.
Yeah. And I mean, I'd love now, and obviously if I put on another play, I'm older, I would want to pay my actors, but
yeah. You would have just ate the cost, right? I mean, how much would you give them? Like, I don't think
so what I was gonna say,
they would just be like, oh yeah, I worked like 3 hours a day.
So the Groundlings is like
$50.
The Groundlings is a huge theater in Los Angeles, and like it's incredible to me because people pay to go to those shows and they don't pay their actors. And that's like how I feel like LA is. I worked as a comedian and I do all these shows and like we never got paid, and like coming up here to San Francisco I'm like shocked that they ask for donations or that we get paid for shows. Like it's such a different world than LA. So in some ways maybe even I was like brainwashed by that.
Yeah we do ask for donations. Thanks for coming. You actually did my show.
Yeah, I did.
You know, that was like our best attendance. Did I say that right?
It's because I went to the bar.
Best crowd. You did go to the bar. I like to send the ladies out there to bring people up. I don't know. It's not sexist. It just makes sense, right? It just makes more sense if like a nice woman go and ask her, hey, we have a show. Other than me, like, hey, come watch my show.
They were such a bad crowd, though. The people from the bar, specifically.
Okay. The guy, there's that one lady. I did a joke that was like totally normal, totally PC joke.
No.
It was a totally PC joke, and I said it, and then she was just like, that's horrible.
It was not. Can we talk about the joke or no?
All right, fine, go ahead. Don't tell the bit, but like you could talk.
I mean, what is the bit of that joke?
Solving homelessness.
It's like it was going in one direction. I was like, okay, I'm there with you, Dorian. I'm there with you, and then it went to a buffet of fentanyl, and I was like, you lost me. And that woman was just responding to that, you know?
Was that woman you?
No, you already asked me that. I'm like, no, I didn't.
They're like, that's horrible.
I was in the way back. I was sitting back there with two of the other comedians, but like we were against the wall.
Yeah. Did any of the comedians laugh? Nobody laughed. That joke has gotten laughs before. I just want to tell that to the world.
I think that it's because we're in the Tenderloin and like right below us are all these homeless people and you're telling jokes about them. Who knows? Some people in that bar could have been homeless.
Well, you know, my car's parked out there. You know, sometimes cars get broken into. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Are you inviting that?
No, I don't want that to ever happen. So you did a. So the play. Obviously, would you say it's harder than your one-woman show, or is it not?
It was way harder. Yeah. Okay. Just being like in charge of a large group of people was really hard, and then also the circumstances of like losing my job. What I was gonna say is I took on this bartending job, and it was like this other one, and that was pretty much like an awful experience. Like getting just like sexually harassed by my manager, like constantly. I remember once someone came back behind my bar and they stole tips or they stole money out of my cash register.
That's insane.
So
how did they even open it? Does she need a code?
Yeah, it was one of the waitresses or waiters. I don't know who it was. And at the end of the night, they were like, "Oh, Grace, you're short in your cash register," and that's like how we realized someone had stolen it. And he was like, my manager was like, "You have to pay the difference." And I was like, "No, I'm here to make money, not lose money."
Did you pay it?
And no, I was like, I'm not paying this. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, well, like, I don't know what we're going to do. And I was like,
don't they have cameras? That's what people do.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
welcome to my podcast.
So then I said to him, I was like, this sucks so badly. And he's like, you know what sucks? That because I'm your boss, I can't date you. What? And I was like, what the fuck? And this guy had been like 500 pounds, like I'm not exaggerating, and lost it all.
Shout out to losing weight, dog.
No, he was disgusting, and he was so gross, and he like slapped the waitresses and bartenders' asses like all the time. He was disgusting.
Yeah. How much?
Then he weighed, I don't know. He was like a small guy then. Like
he lost 500 pounds, dude.
Maybe it was 300 pounds, but he was like 5'7".
Ooh, shout out to the short kings out there. Short and stout, as they called him back in the day.
He looked like a lizard.
They call him Teapot. You know why?
Yeah, why? Short and stout.
So he said that. How did you respond to that? You should be like, I was like, you being my boss has nothing to do with me not dating you. Would have been.
I think I was just like in so much shock that he said that. And that he was like so gross. That I just like walked. I remember, so that wasn't my last night, but then like the next week was, I had put the play on and I paid for everything, and that was my last night. And I remember he did something like gross to me, and I walked out.
What do you do? Do you want to share?
I walked out of my shift. I don't remember what it was, but I literally grabbed my bag and I walked out of my shift, and he's like, there's all these dishes. Like, he was yelling at me, and I was just like, I can't. This is a lawsuit.
What bar is this again?
I don't know if I want to say. So,
Molly Stone's?
No. Molly Malone's was not like that. Molly Malone's was a great. No, Molly Malone's was a great bar.
There's a fat motherfucker in LA.
No, he's thin now.
He used to be fat, but he's thin. Did you think he lost the weight because he's trying to hide from the cops? For some like sexual harassment shit, he's just like, I gotta change my whole look.
He was gross. And like, it sucks too because the other girls at that bar would like put up with it.
Damn.
Oh yeah, sort of like play into it. Which there's like a girls episode. I don't know if you watched that or seen that show.
No, I do watch Boys.
Okay, a different show. Wait, The Boys on Amazon?
Yeah.
I know someone on that show.
Good show.
Is it? I've never seen it.
It's very good.
But anyway, on this episode of the girls show, Girls, she like works at this place, and like her boss like sexually harasses all of them, but the women at the place are like, whatever, like, because you know, he gave me like an iPad for Christmas last year, and like he helped like my husband like get into like community college, and so we just like put up with it. And did you try and touch your boobs? Like, it's a really funny episode.
Yeah. He helped someone's husband get into community college.
I don't know what it is. It's some line like that. It's pretty funny. But it's funny because I remember saying something to the other girls, and they were like, oh yeah, like whatever, he slaps our ass. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting. Just making sure it's recording. What if it wasn't recording this whole time?
This is some juicy goss.
I know.
Spilling the beans.
Okay, so
I actually write about it in my book.
Oh shit, you have a book that's not published yet?
Nope.
So let's not talk about that.
Okay, but it will be published eventually.
Then will you come back?
I would love to come back. Will you have me back?
Yeah, of course. So back. Can we go back to your play?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So how, after you finished it, like did you have like a relief that you're like, it's finally done, or you're like, I'm ready to do more?
I was definitely like exhausted from it. What?
No, I'm just hearing stuff. Keep going.
Oh.
I'll worry about the stuff here.
I was exhausted from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to put on anything for a long time. I'm trying to remember what happened. I kind of remember that was like at the end of the summer. And then shortly after I turned 25.
And damn, you did all this before 25.
Yeah. This is like, yes. And then I went into advanced lab at the Groundlings. So I had like a month in between those two.
How's the Groundlings like? Like, you pay, it's kind of like going to church, right? You pay them. They don't pay you.
It's more like a
cult
than it is like church. I guess some churches are like cults.
Do a lot of audience members go like watch the Groundlings? Is that
like a thing? That's a packed house, and that's like over, I think their seats are like 120. I want to say that, if someone corrects me. I don't know, but
those are tickets. 120.
No, 120 people in the audience.
Oh, okay.
And they're packed houses
every single time.
Yes.
That's a good experience just to get to the... So Groundlings, is it improv only, or do you do sketches also?
So Groundlings starts and you audition. That's why it's like a big deal. They call it the Yale of improv or sketch. So you audition. I auditioned. I got in when I was 20. I was like very young.
You're like the Pete Davidson of the Groundlings.
Yeah, I guess I hate Pete Davidson.
Why?
I don't think he's funny.
What?
No, he's not funny.
Pete, I'd love to open for you. All right, continue. So you're young. You're in the Groundlings.
So then every level you get cut. Every half your class gets cut in every level. So you're competing with everyone in your class to get through the next level to be the funniest.
Yeah.
And it definitely like creates a really like competitive, cutthroat atmosphere that weirdly like I I grew up playing soccer, so like I could step it up in that environment, and I did very well. But like, it's not a place for real creativity, in my opinion.
Oh, really? Because people are just so nervous.
I don't think they're nervous. I think they're cutthroat. Like, people will fuck other people over.
Okay, so is it just improv, or is it skits also, or like sketches? So it's like SNL.
So it's a filter for SNL.
Okay. What do you think is what do you think has a better product, Groundlings or SNL?
Groundlings.
Agreed. SNL sucks.
Yeah, but that's the sad thing is, like, I see people in LA who are like in the Groundlings, and it's like, you're broke.
Yeah, well, they don't pay you.
You're poor.
Pay. How much does it cost to be in the Groundlings?
People will get Progressive.com commercials, or the Flow is a Groundling. All those people in that are Groundlings.
Yeah, but then that's a huge gig, and like not everybody's Flow.
No.
How much does it cost, a subscription or whatever you call it, tuition, Groundlings?
It's actually not expensive.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, actually, I don't know what it is now, but when I was younger in the Groundlings, I want to say it was like $300 for a 8-week class.
Okay.
So it was pretty cheap, but I think it's gone up like exponentially, because I remember.
Wait, so you take the class?
So Writing Lab, I think, was like $500, or Advanced Lab was $500, one of those.
Okay, so you have to pay for these classes. No, but like if you make is it a cast?
So the cast is Sunday Company. You're competing to get into Sunday Company, but it takes years to get through the program.
You're in it, right? You got in it?
No, I didn't get into Sunday.
Okay.
I got cut after Advanced. I went all the way through the program. I was the youngest person to pass Writing Lab.
So you need to go through all the classes. And then get to Sunday Company.
Yeah.
Wait, they keep people away from you get cut from the class that you pay for?
You get cut half the class gets cut every time.
So
like
so the first class is how many people?
Here's an example. I went in as basic. You start with basic. Some people have to start with lower ones, but I went into basic. Oh.
I'm basic.
So I went into basic, and none of the people that I was in basic with even made it to advanced.
How many people in basic?
There were like 15 people, and I think maybe 4 of us went through.
Really?
Yeah. It's like,
so the next class is only 4 people.
No, so then other people are taking basic at the same time. So you're all going up.
I see.
Or maybe someone took basic a year ago and they want to come back and take intermediate. So you're competing against like all these people.
Yeah.
But what it really is like, I sadly had to go to a memorial in January.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone knows each other. Like when I was at the memorial, I like know everyone in the ground. Like I know anyone who's made it up to a certain level. Yeah, sadly.
In the Groundlings?
Yeah, and he had auditioned for SNL. I'd known him since I was 20.
So people that make the cast, do most of them get into like a good gig, like SNL?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a bullshit thing where...
So even if you get to what is it called?
There's
Sunday?
no guarantee that you'll get anything if you get into Sunday Company.
Sunday Company.
No guarantee.
You won't even get on a commercial? Or...
No guarantee, no. You still have to audition like everyone else. They say, though, but they brainwash people into thinking that like they'll bring in casting directors, they'll bring in like people like that, and they do, but like not everyone gets like those successes. Like,
yeah,
I know plenty of people who were in Sunday Company and you've never heard of them, and they're like brilliant comedians, and then like Chloe Fineman is out of Groundlings, or Kristen Wiig is out of Groundlings. There's a bunch. I saw Kristen Wiig there. She was brilliant.
I almost feels kind of scammy to me.
It is scammy.
Because the way they do it, it's like a marketing ploy.
Totally.
They're just making it seem exclusive, but if like 1,000 people pay for like the basics, you know what I mean? They move on a couple of people, and people just keep taking it because they think they could do it better next time.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, too, I know someone who... they never told me this like when I was in the program, but they didn't make it past basic, and they were on a show for like 11 years, and they're one of the best comedians I've ever seen in Los Angeles, and I was shocked they didn't even pass basic. So like, again, coaches make mistakes, teachers don't often know.
But are there people that didn't pass in your class that you thought they should have passed? Or
Definitely.
Were there people that passed that you're like, dude, this guy's dumb?
Yeah. Like, especially from Writing Lab into Advanced Lab, there were some people that got into Advanced Lab that I was like, God, they're a really shitty writer, but they're like the teacher's pet, or
or they're
dating someone who's like on a TV show.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean anything really then. I mean, it does. Like, I don't know. Do you think it's worth it for people that want to...
So here's the thing. When I worked... Then I started working in entertainment, and like I was working on a TV show, and nod to Roger Schulman, who wrote Shrek. He like calls me up, and he was like, "Hey, so I noticed on your resume like you were in the Groundlings, and if you want to make pitches to me after like our pitch meetings for possible episodes, let me know, because like getting through that program and getting as far as you did is like so difficult." And I was like, "Ooh, okay."
How did you meet this guy though? The Shrek
Roger
man?
Schulman.
Yeah. He's a writer, you said, right, for Shrek?
He wrote the movie Shrek.
Okay.
He's a really successful writer. But anyway, I met him because I needed a job, and I was like telling everyone I needed a job, and I had a friend who was like friends with Roger Schulman's wife, and like it just so happens that the wife had like reached out to him about something, I don't know, and he was like, "Oh, by the way, this girl's looking for a job if you want to give her a job."
I see. And he hasn't.
And then I interviewed.
He
then
must
I went
have written Shrek already at that time, right? Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Shrek's been out for how many years? I don't even know. 30 years.
God, 20 years, I think.
You should have been like, "Hey, put me in Shrek 10."
I should have.
Yeah. Did he write the subsequent movies or just that first?
You know what? I don't know. I know he wrote the first one.
Okay.
That's like, I rewatched that recently, and it's such a good movie.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really smart.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. What was that? I had something I wanted to ask you, but I forgot right now. If someone wanted to get into like a sketch, like they wanted to get into SNL, would you tell them the Groundlings would be a good way to go through, or probably not?
No, I would definitely say like UCB, Groundlings. But
those are the two big ones
in LA. Or is the person from here or from Los Angeles?
I'm so ignorant. For like the last 10 years, I thought UCB was UC Santa Barbara, even though I know in my head UCSB is Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does that even mean? When people say UCB, I was like, is that a school?
It is a school though.
Yeah. But it's like the Groundlings, right?
It's not as difficult as the Groundlings because they don't cut people every level. Everyone like gets through, but then only some people make the teams.
Okay. And those are both of them are based out in LA.
Yeah. So I would tell someone if they wanted to get into sketch, I'd say
just do your own.
No, I'd say take sketch writing classes
at community college,
wherever you can get them. I mean, there's all kinds of. I took sketch writing classes with Guy Stevenson, who's a teacher at the Groundlings, but it wasn't through the Groundlings. It was like a separate thing at a different acting studio.
Yeah.
And those were like the best classes I could have ever taken for sketch because he's an amazing teacher, and he really like helped to teach me how to write a sketch. So
right.
But I'd also say like join a sketch team. Like get as many reps in, and then you want to go to the Groundlings. Like I went too young, and that was like, I feel like part of the reason I got cut. I would tell someone, like if it was my kid or something, I'd be like, if you want to do sketch, write as many sketches as possible, film them, get them up.
On YouTube.
Do it for a couple years.
It's for free.
Yeah, do it for a few years, and then go down to the Groundlings like when you're ready.
Yeah.
You know, because once you're cut, you can never go back.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
I know.
Why even go? Here's what I think. I'm like, why even go? You could write your sketches, and I'm assuming
so true.
People
why even go?
I assume people will work for free.
Here's the thing I will say about the Groundlings, though.
It's the
best training. So you go there, and that's why I'm so grateful for it, because I got the best possible training I ever could have gotten. Like, I know those classes outside of Groundlings were amazing, but then once I was in there, I had some teachers that pushed me so hard and they were such good teachers. You shouldn't be in the Groundlings because you think you're going to be like on the main stage. You should go for the training.
Okay. Are they so San Francisco, are any of them good, like end games, or what are they called? Are they the same, or are they just like a...
I started doing stand-up here because I went to SF Sketch Fest, this is years ago, and I saw some of the improvisers here, and I was like, wow, they're really bad.
Damn.
So I was like, I'm not doing improv in San Francisco. There's no way it's good. I don't know about that team. I don't know
Some improvs came out and did my show, Belly Rub, shout out.
I'm sure they're great. They weren't. This was like it wasn't 10 years. Maybe it was 10 years ago. Yeah. Or 8 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So
they're probably dead already. So it's fine.
So then when I came out here, and it's just not the same. I'm sure the improv scene is great here. It's not the same as LA. It's just not.
Yeah.
And there's not as much talent to pick from. There's,
do you think it's because people out here are just doing it for fun? Whereas in LA, people are like, I need to go SNL.
Yes. They're like in it to win it.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was it about? You were asking me about doing sketch or
the sketch.
Oh, so that's why I started doing stand up here though, because I thought that
the sketch.
So I don't know anything about sketch here.
Okay.
But
there's a couple people that you've met. Brett, I think, does sketch.
Oh yeah, she said she does improv too.
Yeah, Brett and Amy Stringer. Brett Harper Jennings, Amy Stringer. Shout out to the ladies. Holla. I love giving women opportunities on my show and my podcast and my stand-up show.
You do, though.
Which I shouldn't have to say it, but
no, it's good to say, because I've noticed working with you as opposed to like some other people, and some of them in LA, like you always put women on your shows, and I feel like you always are very like uplifting to women in a non-weird way.
Zero Me Too's.
Oh my God, don't even joke.
Anyway, we did this for about 47 minutes.
And it's freezing.
It is freezing in this undisclosed location. I do want to have you back. I want to ask you like so many other things about writing.
Oh.
She's working on a book, but you guys will not know anything about it until it's ready to come out, and I'll have her back on if she will come back.
Ooh.
Also, I want to ask you more about your stand-up, how you write, and all that, which you guys will have to watch this next time. Anyway, any last words before?
Last words? No, I just want to say thank you for having me on.
No problem.
You've been a great interviewer.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, and I just want to say, if anybody like wants to write and do stuff, like you should just go do it.
Follow your dreams.
Because Grace is a great example that you did 2 different one-woman shows.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we could have gone a little bit more in, but it's all right. We'll save it for next time. That's 2 different 1-hour shows. You did a play that was over an hour. Like, you did a lot of things.
I wrote a web series.
She wrote a web series and she put it on. What's your web series called?
Pigtails and Scooters. And it has a little cult following.
And Scooters on YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah, if you want to do something, you have to do it. And I'll just say this really fast.
Yeah.
I dropped out of college at 19.
Boom.
Because I got kicked off of my college sketch team. Yeah. UC Santa Cruz, you got a group of mean girls.
UCSC, you might have heard of USB. You ever heard of USCV?
Yeah, they kicked me off the team because they're mean girls. Yeah. And I was like, okay, fuck all of you. I'm going to go to LA and make it as a comedian.
Yeah.
And then I was like welcomed with open arms. And like they could have deterred me from my dreams of wanting to do comedy because they were so mean. But instead, you got to just power through, and people will try and tell you who you are. And like,
don't let anyone make you quit comedy. Is what I want to say. To add on to that, now have any of those like girls from
no,
UC
none
Santa
of
Cruz
them went into comedy.
Okay.
Actually, I think there's one girl who might be in the Bay Area.
Okay.
I'd love to run into her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think she'll come onto the podcast?
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe.
You should ask her.
She's not a comedian, but I heard she's an astronaut, so no, it's still pretty damn good. Damn mean girls. All right, Grace, thank you for your time. I'll put all your social and stuff in the description below.
Give me a follow. Come to my shows.
Holler. She actually has a show tonight at Milk Bar, but
yeah, I do.
No one's going to hear this in time to come out. But
I have a show October 16th in Pacifica at the, what is it called?
Surf Longboard with Jamar Pitts and Damian Montes.
Yes.
Never invited me on that show, but it's fine. I have an upcoming show, Belly Rub and the Tenderloin, the Tendy, October 14th, I think.
Excuse me. Are you telling homeless jokes at that show?
I tell whatever the fuck I want. All right. All right, we're out. Thank you.
Thank you.